This is Byron and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 226 of The Real Word.
Word is up.
A lot of things, well, not a lot of things. One thing for sure that we're going to cover in Racket 1 is up. That is the mortgage rates, with the Fed being...
Wait a minute. Can you just finish what you were going to say, and then you sucked it back?
A lot of things are not up. Because what I said was a lot of things are not up. What did you think I sucked back?
I don't know, but now it's
what I'm saying
worse.
is
a lot of things are not up.
A lot of things are not up, meaning...
Word is up.
The word is up. The interest rates are up.
Yep.
But if you've got... Well, we'll get into it here, Racket 1. If you've got any investments, they're probably down.
I know.
All right?
I needed to know what your thought was, and then you sucked it back.
Let's jump right into this.
Let's do that.
Mortgage rates surge past 6% on fears of Fed tightening. This is an Inman article. We'll link it below. Dramatic inflation reading fuels speculation that Federal Reserve policymakers will implement drastic 75 basis point interest rate hike on Wednesday. So they're going to go up 0.75% on, or speculation is that this week, and maybe you're watching this after they've actually announced or just before.
Right, this is Tuesday.
This is going to come out a day before. So, whether they do it or not, that is what they're speculating. We saw on Monday of this week, mortgage interest rates for the 30-year fixed shoot up past 6. They're sitting over 6%. Now, the beginning of the year, in December, when mortgage interest rates were at 3.2, did you think we'd have a double up and we'd be in the low 6s?
I think we could probably go back. I almost want to throw it up because remember they were speculating it was going to 8. Right? Wasn't that the number?
No. Most speculations were,
we'll
get to 5. Some people were talking 4.5. Nobody was saying 8.
I thought we were arguing 8.
No.
I think we need to go back.
We can go back. I mean,
I feel like we talked about it. We were talking about Inman. Maybe it was Inman's predictions.
You couldn't be more wrong.
I feel like there's a faint memory.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but continue. Did you
anyway.
So you thought 6 was a reality?
No, we were all arguing no way. I mean, even 5% seemed like that. How can you rise that quickly?
Well, maybe there was one outlier to your point that you're remembering that was 8, and we were arguing against it
because
the overall consensus was 4.5 to 5%.
5, yes.
5% was like the top.
5. We were definitely headed to 5. We agreed on 5, but I believe, and again, I don't want to waste our time looking, but I really think that one of the predictions was that mortgage rates were going to rise to like 8.
Well, Brad's prediction was
just a generic rise. I mean, we all agreed on
his
that.
were just mortgage rates will rise. He didn't actually put a number to it. He's been more specific in the past with his predictions, but this year,
like because we were totally debunking 8, where now it's like.
Ooh, his bonus prediction, just going back in time here, Brad Inman's bonus prediction, a pile of Range Rovers and a few Bentleys will go back to dealers. How about my video on Range Rovers this week on Instagram? Go check that out at Byron
You're telling everyone to buy the Range Rover.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, it's
for write-off purposes.
I'm saying a lot of wealthy people own Range Rovers. Go watch the full clip.
Well,
anyways.
Amongst other cars, but that's just what they drive.
All right, I'm gonna look for this, and maybe we'll circle back to it.
I don't want to waste the time, and we could pop it in. I mean, that's the magic of editing. But I feel like we were arguing about 8.
Yeah, I don't.
And we were totally saying no effing way.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, the overall consensus from most experts was 4.5, 5. I leaned into that at the beginning of the year, like, hey, we're gonna hit 4.5. We're gonna hit 5.
We're certainly hitting 5.
And I said we will have problems in this market if we get up over 5, and if we get into the 6 territory, I for sure know that I said
here we are.
We're gonna have problems in this market. Now you're seeing a whole bunch of agents out there, and if you're listening or watching, maybe you're one of them. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. But there's a whole bunch of agents out there right now, Nicole, saying, you know what? We're not falling off a cliff. This market is just slightly adjusting, and I agree. It's going from white hot to hot in terms of demand.
Yes.
There's still a ton of demand out there. But I will tell you this. By the end of this year, that demand will be far less than today, and the demand today is far less than it was in December and January.
Well, even just yesterday. I mean, each week that keeps ticking by. I mean,
every day you have less people that can afford homes.
Yeah.
Every day you have less people interested in buying homes.
Yeah.
One of our agents said yesterday when interest rates went up 6, she has a pending deal.
They bailed.
She said, Byron, they're out. They
bailed.
They left the deal.
As soon as they got their rate, they bailed.
Now, on the flip side, another one of our agents, Ryan, he said that he's got people coming out of the woodwork saying, I need to buy now. I think they're going to go up to 7, maybe 8, like you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And I want to get locked in now. So you're going to have both sides.
Well, the problem is you can't lock in until you have a contract too. So what will be interesting to see is if there's fewer deals falling apart too. Because if you're already locked in, now's the time to stay in those deals.
Stay in those deals for
sure.
So here's the thing why I know for sure we'll have less demand at the end of this year, and numbers going into Q1 2023, mark these words, are not going to be good numbers for the real estate industry. You've got a stock market that continues to tank. You've got Bitcoin and crypto, which is falling. That is a cliff. That is falling off
I think it already fell. I think it splattered yesterday.
You have mortgage interest rates that keep going up. You have inflation that right now is uncontrollable. KCM, David Childers, the president of Keeping Current Matters, says that inflation is the enemy of real estate. That is what we're up against. And the government has absolutely, the central bank, the Federal Reserve, has absolutely no tools left in the toolbox to tamper down inflation.
Yeah.
It is running rampant. The next 2 years are going to be bad economic years for this country. And eventually, the biggest lagging measure of all markets, real estate, will have its day. Now, do I think real estate's going to have its day like 2007? No, I do not believe that.
No.
I believe if you own real estate, you're in the best position possible to preserve that wealth.
Right.
You are someone who isn't going to lose as much money. If you're sitting on cash, you'll lose a little bit, but I could make the argument right now that even with the dollar dropping, cash might be a better investment than some of these other things because you can wait and pounce on a deal. You're going to see some real estate deals, right?
Yeah.
But real estate is not going to just completely survive every level of, what everything else is happening.
So
people are losing jobs.
Well, so you're talking more on like the transaction wise.
Yeah, it'll be less transactions. Right. There will be some people who just can't afford home. There's going to be a whole bunch of people at the end of this year that run on housing affordability. It's not possible right now.
Yeah,
it's absolutely not. So any politician that tells you they're going to fix on either side of the aisle affordability in housing is a liar. It's going to get even more out of control with what we're faced with right now. Mm-hmm. So this to me is a big deal. The fact that they could go to 6.5 and 7, despite the fact that in the 2000s we were in 6%.
Yeah, we were arguing that before. Yeah,
before we started the show.
When I bought my house in 2005, I was 6.25.
More inventory. We also saw a cliff back then.
Yeah. Well, again, I was also doing the interest only thing.
Right.
So I mean, even though I was locked in at 6.25, I wasn't making my payment. I wasn't making my full payment.
You're not getting an IO.
No.
You can get an ARM. You're not getting an IO right now. So stop telling people that the market is safe, right? It might be safe if you're one of those average homeowners right now that's locked into 3% mortgage interest rate and you have $200,000 of equity and you're not in fear of losing your job. There are multiple companies over and over and over, and we've talked about this, are saying we're stopping hiring.
Yep.
We're going to spend less in marketing. We're going to lay off. This is a trend that's just begun.
Yeah. That's
going to continue over the next year. And all of this stuff adds up, and eventually real estate numbers will reflect that. 3-6 months where we're looking at, wow, far less transactions. Wow, bracket number 2, what we're going to talk about with luxury buyers. They're disappearing. Okay, prices aren't going up 20% in a year. They're going up 1 or 2%.
Well, I mean, we know that 20% wasn't sustainable over multiple years. I mean, that's bonkers. I mean, I'm good at 2-3%. That's just a healthy like market. But yeah, I mean, it's quite a slap in the face for most people that just, we're kind of,
Kind of what?
Pigs in mud.
Pigs in mud.
It's just
just having a happy time.
Having a happy time.
Yeah, I mean, this summer, listen, I'd pull back a little bit on the expenses. If
Byron started bringing in his own lunch. I mean,
I did yesterday.
I know you did.
First time in a long time.
As soon as I was like, "Hey, do you need anything
First time
for lunch?"
Long time.
You're like, "I brought in lunch." I called my husband. I'm like, "Byron's bringing in lunch. We have problems.
The world is coming to an end.
The world is ending. Byron is bringing in his own lunch."
Yeah, I didn't bring in a lunch today, so the lunch is on you. All right. All right. Mortgage rates are not a racket. It's something to consider. And another thing to consider if you want to actually take care of your clients would be hooking them up with Tomo. HelloTomo.com, or you can hit the link below. It's a mortgage without marbles, without losing your marbles. No marbles. They're not going to give you marbles because
they won't
you know why?
You already have marbles.
They have the best rates.
Don't lose them.
They have no lender fees, and they're going to close on time. How often do they close on time?
98% of the time.
Yeah.
So they're keeping everyone's marbles.
Competitors only close at 40% of the time. But the big one right now with the rates going up, Nicole.
That game, remember that game? You ever play that game where you pull like in it, the marble?
The little marble?
What is that with the sticks?
I know exactly what
is it?
That was before my time.
Blanco.
Clunko? Pigs and
Flunko,
did the pigs play that in the mud?
Throw
I don't know.
me something over there in the corner.
The big thing for me right now with Tomo is the no lender fees.
98%.
The best rates.
Yeah.
When rates are increasing, you got to watch those fees. You got to have the best rate. So hellotomo.com. Get your clients over there. Connect with Tomo. How can you as an agent be a partner to help them help you help your clients get the best rates?
Wow.
If you can follow that one
Pulled
along.
it off.
I don't know if I did pull it off.
I don't know. I was watching. You were thinking there was steam coming out of your
head.
It's
like, when you say my sister's brother's cousin is my whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody can follow that.
No.
It was Kerplunk.
Kerplunk. Thank you.
Kerplunk.
I knew
All right.
it was something. I loved that game.
Awful game. Hey guys, appreciate you checking out this episode of The Real Word. If you want the full episode, go over to the Broke Agent YouTube. That's where we're hosting the full podcast. If you want to continue to see the segments broken out and the short clips, stay right here on The Real Word YouTube.